Hey, guess what? This episode has an interview with musical artist Gizbah.
Thanks for tuning in, and welcome to episode 3.
Mental Patchwork Podcast.
I just had a blast from the past. I was watching this movie called Stars at Noon with Margaret Qualley, and in the last scene of the movie, this music starts up, and it was really familiar, and I thought, isn't that Simon and Garfunkel? With no lyrics, though. It was an instrumental version. And so I Shazammed it, and the song is called El Condor Pasa by a band called Los Incas. And as it turns out, it's actually considered the second national anthem of Peru. And El Condor Pasa means the condor passes. Wikipedia told me that Simon and Garfunkel actually used the Los Incas instrumental track as background to add their vocals to. So sure enough, I went and listened to both tracks, and they're identical except for the addition of the vocals. It's fascinating. It's fascinating to have my perception of an old song completely just rearranged all of a sudden. It's a really beautiful tune. I'd rather be a spider than a web. Hot sauce and coffee go really good together, like one after the other. Basically hot sauce first and then coffee. It's time for another live music performance, also known as a musical nugget. A musical nugget. Nugget. I'm in the mood for playing guitar. So here's some electric guitar with my looper pedal and whatnot. Stop. Malfunction. Stop. Stop. Okay, malfunction. Yeah, I'm going to play guitar. So this tune is called I Would Rather Be a Spiral. kind of fun to get lost playing music, having a sense of adventure, and trying to see what's available. Try not to get lost, or it's okay to get lost, as long as you don't get eaten by a bear or anything. Unless that's what you're going for. The guitar is pretty safe that way, I guess. So I just realized that all I want to do all the time is to listen. I want to listen to all of my favorite songs all at the same time. Is that too much to ask? Seriously, please? Nopey Dokey.
That's right, I invented a new expression. Instead of saying okie dokie, which means yes or okay, when you want to say no, you can say nope. But why not just say nopey dokie? That's right, you heard it here first. Nopey dokie. Please use the word in a sentence. William and Wilma are having a party tonight. Maybe see you there? Nopey dokie.
Today's a really awesome day in Fortnite. In duos, trios, and squads, we won 5 games tonight, which is more than usual. And my character that I'm playing with tonight, her name is Bryne, Bryne, and she's actually an axolotl. She's really pretty. And I have this dinosaur who follows me around. He's my sidekick. He's cute. Yeah, it's been a difficult season because I don't know why, but it's the Simpsons season and the map is smaller and it's harder to win. But then today they started adding these donut storms. So these giant donuts are falling from the sky and you got to try not to get hit by them. But you can hide behind them and they give loot. It's a real fun day of Fortnite. It's my favorite game. I've also been playing chess on the Xbox. Hey, happy Halloween. Although this is going to be on episode 3, so that's kind of late. But you can save it up for next year if you want. And also, guess what I thought of? I have to tell you, it's really important. So Halloween is supposed to have an apostrophe between the last 2 letter E's. The only 2 letter E's. Whoa. In the word. Nobody ever does that though, right? Hardly. But it makes me think. If we can get rid of the apostrophe between those 2 E's, I wonder if the band Ween, how did they come up with their name? Maybe it's actually short for Halloween. You know, and maybe they even have an apostrophe in between there, but it's just invisible. So that's just a little idea. Who knows? And furthermore, since I always get Ween and Weezer mixed up, maybe Weezer should start spelling their name with an apostrophe between the first 2 letter E's. You heard it here first. Okay, I'm starting to think it's a good idea to put apostrophes between every double E, like Aberdeen and spleen and PP. So PP would be spelled P-E apostrophe E, P-E apostrophe E. Heck, why not do that for all double vowels? So poo-poo would be P-O apostrophe O, P-O apostrophe O. They say even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? Well, it's November 2nd, and daylight savings time is coming up. Right now it's 1:58 a.m. Pretty soon it'll be 1:59. And then after that, instead of being 2 a.m., it's going to be 1 a.m. So right now it's 1:59. Just waiting for the clock to turn to 1 o'clock. So instead of going from 1:59 to 2 a.m., it's going to change to 1 o'clock, 1:59, and then 1 o'clock. Spring ahead, fall behind. Getting ready to fall behind. Setting the clock back. It happens automatically on the phone. It's not even a phone, hardly ever phone anybody. There it is, 1 o'clock. I just saw it change. From 1:59 to 1 o'clock. Neat. Weird.
Quintessential, penultimate, myriad, plethora. Say that 10 times fast. Quintessential, penultimate, myriad, plethora. Quintessential, penultimate, myriad, the plethora. Quintessential, penultimate, myriad, 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 plethora.
Wow, cool. I just heard a real nice track on CBC. It was so smooth. CBC plays a lot of good stuff, especially at night. But I Shazammed it, and it was Madison McFerrin. And I very simple-mindedly thought, oh, well, I wonder if she's related to Bobby McFerrin. But actually, she is. She's the daughter of Bobby McFerrin.
He did that song, Don't Worry, Be Happy. I'm sure you probably heard of it.
And it's a real nice track.
Very jazzy, funky, soulful, smooth.
It's called Ain't It Nice by Madison McFerrin. It's going on my playlist of new favorites. It might end up on my playlist of repeaters where whenever I find a song that's so good, I just want to repeat it and listen to it all day. A song like that goes on my repeater playlist.
Oh, and by the way, I got to mention one of my favorite videos. You can look it up on YouTube. It's called Bobby McFerrin Demonstrates the Power of the Pentatonic Scale. And he does a crowd participation thing, and it's pretty awesome. Totally recommend it. You don't have to be a musician to watch it. He demonstrates that everybody in the audience has this perfect knowledge of a particular type of scale, and it's mathematical, and you don't even have to know about it in order to know it. It's universal. I just found out something really funny. The guitar player that Adrian Smith replaced in Iron Maiden, Dennis Stratton, he got fired from Iron Maiden because he liked soft rock too much. He liked the Eagles, so they kicked him out. So that's pretty funny, man. I think that's hilarious. Did not know that.
So one night I was at Music in the Park, and one of the local bands there, they did the song Hollywood by Streetheart. And I sort of recognized it. I don't know how it escaped my attention all those years, but really what an awesome tune. It's got this really cool lead guitar thing that's like extremely catchy and awesome. And the singing is like Hollywood over and over. And I didn't really look up the lyrics until just yesterday. So I just thought it was a song about Hollywood, but it's actually about this woman who likes to live the high life of fancy Hollywood stuff, rubbing shoulders with famous people and all this, and also being seductive. And her name is Hollywood. So it's the name of a person. It's not about the city. It's a nickname, obviously. Got a new viewpoint on an old thing. I mean, I'm sure I've heard that song tons of times on the radio. And somehow it feels brand new. I like it when an old song feels brand new. She reminds me of Anna Delvey. And Juliet Garner did that portrayal of her, which was pretty entertaining.
In case you haven't seen it.
It's called Inventing Anna.
In case you haven't seen it.
Okay, I'm listening to ZZ Top, the Degwello album, and I might have a comment about that later. For example, there's a song about racing with your Corvette. But anyway, as I was doing that and doing some exercise, I was also on Facebook and I saw this audio engineering article, tips for producers, and I found the golden ratio. So tip number 1 says something like, sit 38% into the room as measured from the front wall, between the front wall and the back wall. So you're going to be a little closer to the front wall where the speakers are. 38%. That is what I call the silver mean, although mathematics has a different idea for what that terminology should be applied to. I think the silver mean, that term should be used to describe the smaller portion of the golden mean. So in other words, if the golden mean is 0.618, etc., also known as 62%, then the leftover part is 38%. So whenever I see either one of those numbers, I freak out, and it's like a treasure hunt if you can find the golden ratio somewhere. So in this audio engineering article, they didn't mention the golden ratio. They just said 38%. So that seems awfully specific. They could have just said 40%. Like mostly people say 60-40, 60-40 split, or 40-60. But whenever I hear that, I also think, well, maybe the real answer is the golden ratio, 62-38. But nobody would want to say that. It's just easier to say 60-40, right? So I thought it was interesting that in this article, they didn't say 40%. They said 38%. Oh, and by the way, the reason for sitting in that location is to have the most accurate depiction of bass response coming from your speakers. Q.E.D. Quod erit demonstrandum. Ever since I heard that in a Thomas Dolby song and became aware of what it means, it's like the way I understand it. If you're discovering some kind of math or science thing or something like that, and you want to brag about it, you put the words Q.E.D. at the end of it. It's Latin, obviously.
Not French.
Okay, well, I asked GPT, and it says, Quod erit demonstrandum translates to which was to be demonstrated in English. Which was to be demonstrated. It's often abbreviated as Q.E.D. and traditionally placed at the end of a mathematical proof or logical argument to signify that the original statement has been proven. Well, I might be abusing that Q.E.D. thing just for fun. I don't know. I don't think I'm using it properly. I just use it to brag about some kind of smart thing that I said or wrote. One of the local radio stations did a little meme here, and it says, 38% of people said this would be the reason they would die in a horror movie. Here's my response. For talking about the golden ratio at the wrong time and its remainder. In other words, 62% leaves the remainder of 38%. So meta, yo. Just think, people in my hometown are going to read my comment on the internet. I'm going to be famous. When it rains, it pours. Funny timing. Yesterday, I learned that the song Hollywood is about a person, not a place. And today, I learned that Danny California also refers to a person, not a place. Even though I've been hearing both of those songs for years. Today must be my lucky day. I should probably buy a lottery ticket.
And now, the next installment of GPT Corner. GPT. So I went up to this dolphin and I was like, hey, you should sleep with one eye open. And the dolphin was like, I already do. Don't you know anything? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, I'm just kidding. So what really happened was a buddy told me that he got a concussion and that it had a weird effect on his sleeping pattern. So he has one of those health watch thingies that keeps track of things such as health-related stuff and including your sleep patterns. And it even tells you what kind of animal you are, just for fun. So if you sleep a lot, then it calls you a bear. And if you don't sleep hardly at all, it calls you a dolphin. And so then I was like, well, why dolphin? And he told me, well, dolphins, they need to come up for air sometimes when they're sleeping. So only one half of their brain goes to sleep. So I looked it up on ChatGPT and it told me a few things. As usual, maybe I should sort of like check to see if it's accurate. I'm just going to trust it for now. Yeah, so dolphins, only one hemisphere of their brain goes to sleep so that they can still swim around and come up for air and stuff like this. It's called unihemispherical slow wave sleep. And they can even then switch which hemisphere is going to sleep. Okay, so each hemisphere gets a turn. Okay. So I asked ChatGPT, are dolphins the only animals who do unihemispheric slow wave sleep? ChatGPT says, no. Dolphins are not the only animals that exhibit unihemispheric slow wave sleep, also known as USWS. Several other species use this fascinating adaptation. Here's an overview. Marine animals, whales, including sperm whales, beluga whales, and gray whales. Seals and sea lions are so cute. When they're in water, they often sleep unihemispherically, and when they're on land, they can switch to normal bihemispheric sleep like terrestrial animals. Birds. Many birds also show unihemispheric slow-wave sleep, especially in situations where vigilance is needed. Ducks on the edge of flocks sleep with one eye open. The one open eye corresponds to the awake hemisphere. Well, I wonder if it's opposite though, right? Left is controlled by right and stuff like that. Who knows, whatever. I guess I could look that up, but I'm probably not going to. Swifts, frigate birds, and some songbirds can sleep unihemispherically even while flying. Can you imagine that? You're flying because you're a bird, and half of your brain is asleep. Wowee. Also pigeons and chickens, and possibly reptiles like crocodiles. So then I said this. In my opinion, humans could learn to do this. ChatGPT says, that's a very intriguing thought, and you're not far off from ideas neuroscientists have speculated about. There's some precedent suggesting that under certain conditions, the hemispheres of a human can act more independently than usual. Though true unihemispheric sleep hasn't been documented in humans, according to ChatGPT. Everything with a grain of salt. Here's what it tells me. Hemispheric detachment and independence. In split brain patients, those who had their corpus callosum severed to treat epilepsy, the two hemispheres do indeed operate with a surprising degree of autonomy. It's not sleep, but it shows that human hemispheres can function semi-independently. So in theory, if some sort of brain injury or neural reorganization caused a functional decoupling, one hemisphere might enter a sleep-like state while the other stayed active. Yeah, because who knows? My buddy who got in an accident there and got a concussion, maybe he's gained this ability, USWS, right? Partial analogs in humans. Microsleeps. Very short localized sleep events can occur in certain brain regions while a person is otherwise awake. EEG studies show that parts of the cortex can go into slow wave activity while the rest remains alert, especially under sleep deprivation.
Sleep deprivation.
Unihemispheric vigilance, the so-called first night effect. The left hemisphere tends to stay a bit more alert in unfamiliar environments. In other words, if you're staying in an unfamiliar place, you're going to be sleeping with one eye open on your first night. It's called the first night effect. So part of the conversation with my friend there was also about binaural beats, right? That's where you have a different tone in the left and right ears. And so that seems kind of related. So ChatGPT here says, it's not implausible that humans could train or evolve towards more asymmetric sleep patterns, particularly if technology, meditation, or neurostimulation could mimic unihemispheric dynamics. Yeah, it would be an extraordinary ability, staying semi-conscious, breathing normally, maybe even dreaming while half awake. Isn't that neat? 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 Isn't that neat?
Drum solo! Drum solo!
Check this out. You see the okay, right?
I see that.
Uh-huh. That's what we were listening to, right?
Yeah.
This has been one of my favorite albums for a very long time. And then fairly recently, like probably less than 10 years ago, I got this book, right?
It's just all transcribed solos.
It's all transcribed solos from this album.
That's crazy.
As you can tell,
Who
it's
the hell
almost...
would have he didn't transcribe that, did he?
Well,
Steve I.
yeah, Steve I transcribed this whole entire album of Frank Zappa, Shut Up and Play Your Guitar. And I saw that book and I had to get it right away. You know what else about? You see what I noticed anything? Tell me if you noticed something. Don't fold the pages like that, please.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, this book is like a treasure.
All right.
Thanks. But did you... Oh, that's just stretching it out too much. Thanks.
Right.
Yeah, just be gentle. So, do you notice anything about the music though? Like it's a guitar book, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you notice?
Well, it's 3 parts.
Well, yeah, which is really cool, right? Because that's the drums.
Yeah.
But what else though? No tablature.
No tab.
Guitar books always have tablature, right?
Yeah.
And this is just
It's all notes.
staff
no tab.
notation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check those rhythms out, eh? There's like a group of 5
And
with
2
like all these triplets in it, which have ties in them, and then a combination of this and that. It's crazy. I wish we could listen to it while we're doing the podcast, but we wouldn't be allowed to have Frank Zappa's music on my podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite albums of all time for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Nice. Steve I know I just watched the thing. Somebody, I don't know where it was, what I saw it on. No idea what I was watching. But it had Ralph Macchio, remember? Because he was
Oh, yeah.
on Crossroads. And he's
Yeah.
But I didn't know that Steve Vai wrote both guitar parts.
Oh.
Like the dueling guitars, because he was the bad guy that had
Yeah.
to beat, but both guitar parts were like he was just battling himself, really.
Right?
Yeah.
Just, but I guess with Ralph Macchio's part, he probably played it on a Telecaster.
He did, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of style sounds great on a Telecaster.
He's a fantastic player, man. I
Who's Steve Vai?
Yeah, you know what
Well,
I actually
yeah.
lost interest in was what was the
He's pretty much my favorite guitar player.
Sex and Religion? What album was that?
Yeah, that was with Devin Townsend. I saw that on tour.
Yeah.
Devin Townsend was keeping up to Steve Vai on the harmony guitars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah,
Were you
he's
there
a-
for that too?
No, I didn't see. I just remember
No.
listening. Oh, you mean live?
For the live,
Oh, not
yeah.
recording. I thought that's what you meant. But he could keep up. He's an amazing guitar player.
Well, he did
Yeah.
live.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if he played on the album or not. All in one week. That was the same week that I saw Leona Boyd in Kamloops. Then Steve Vai at the Commodore. And Joe Satriani in Seattle. All in one week.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Trifecta, man.
Yeah.
Two Canadians and one Canadian and two Americans, like really in their prime, kind of at that time, probably.
Yeah. I don't know where they're from. Planet Earth, probably, I guess. But I practiced more after that.
Oh, after seeing that.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Lots of inspiration.
Oh, and I was just thinking the best guitar solo guitar I've ever seen was Mark Ducray.
You might have given me a CD with Mark Ducray live with another soloist, right? It was a duet. You remember this?
Oh, maybe that was Nels Klein,
Oh, maybe.
because he plays with another guitar player. They did stuff together.
I think Nels Klein played guitar on this really interesting track. Do you know that album by Mike Watt called Tugboat or Ball Hog?
No.
Mike Watt's this bass player, and a whole bunch
Yeah.
of people guessed
I
it
know
on
that
this
name.
album that he did. Right? The Beastie Boys are on it. Henry Rollins is on it. But what I noticed was that he seemed to really use a compressor a lot on his guitar. Like, you know how if you strum a chord with a compressor, it'll kind of duck out and then fade in. He was doing stuff like that.
Yeah, usually he plays with a fair amount of effects. Not even on all the time, but he messes around with them a lot. He's got this kind of contraption beside him all the time. He's pushing buttons with his hands all the time.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's got his old little alchemy of buttons in front of him all the time.
Wild.
Yeah.
That's cool. Check out all my pedals over there. Pedal boards. See, I just take the particle board and cut it into a rectangle, drill holes in it, and use zip ties to hold
Yeah.
the pedals on through there.
That's great. Simple.
Yeah, it does the job. Don't have to spend any money.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I already had a big piece of particle board.
Yeah.
I think I used it all up. Hey, so we've been talking, and I would like to introduce my friend here who showed up to hang out and talk on my podcast. Thanks for being here, Ian.
Yeah.
We're talking to the audience now. We have to remember that they're here too.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
glad we have this nice big spray shield in front of us because we spit a lot when we talk and they don't
Yeah.
have to worry about that.
Yeah, I know. My
And they're
breath
quiet.
has
The
been-
thing I like about this audience, you never hear them.
I know, right?
Listen to that. Listen how quiet there.
You could hear a pin drop, or you could hear a mouse fart. Okay, so hi everybody. So Ian's a musician, and we met a long time ago when he was in a show called Euphoria Emporium, and we became friends. And then he joined our band, Sadistic Humor, and then we did some duet stuff where me and Ian we do experimental like improvisation.
Tragedy Hash Brown.
Tragedy Hash Brown. Yeah. So and Ian has done lots of solo music as well and released an album recently. Tell
Yep.
us your artist name.
Gizbah. People just call me Gizbah.
Gizbah, yeah. Capital Gizbah. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah. There's your Bandcamp page. So you can go to gizbah.bandcamp.com, and Ian's latest album is right there. It's called Fabricated Drama. And I was lucky enough to do the mastering on it, so I've gotten to hear all this music lots. And it's awesome. You know, I've always liked your style. You know, you can do your own thing. You know, you do your own thing. You don't waste your time doing someone else's thing. All right?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
It just, you know, the magic of making music. You just get inspired. You sit down. You have words. You don't have words, and things come out. Sometimes it's crazily easily, right? Just this, you're like, oh, that's so effortless, and no one's ever going to hear it.
Oh, well, you know, I don't mind if no one hears my music.
Oh, I could
Because when I'm in the headphones and I get to have all that fun putting those sounds together, that's its own reward.
Oh,
you know?
totally. Sitting with headphones on for hours, and losing track of time, disappearing into. A lot of it's just the harmonic kind of vibrations that you're creating for yourself at that time. Like it's pleasurable. You like doing it.
Yeah.
And it's like a trance, and like, why not stay in it? That's why it's hard to come back, and for me a lot of times to come back and write a song like even the next day. Like if I don't get it done in a short period, of course I do come back to things, but like an actual vibrational kind of vision of how the song should be, coming back most of the time is a real chore.
Oh yeah, like you like to capture it when you're in the moment. Like it's like a continuum of consciousness.
Well, everything's vibrating, resonating at that frequency at that time because of what you ate and how you slept and all those things, right?
Oh yeah. So if you put it down and then picked it up again the next day, your frequency would be different depending on what you ate that day and what kind of side of the bed that you woke up on and all this.
Well, and the humidity changes your guitar.
Yeah.
Changes the sound of your guitar, the feel of your guitar.
Yeah, so those 2 different days. So it feels like a chore, but it could be good though, right?
Oh, it's not, don't get me wrong. Yeah, it's something I do like doing. It's like even fighting to get back into the song. I've done that. Like I'm not giving up the song. I'm going to fight my way back in, and then I'm going to take it somewhere again. Like,
you know what I've done that's similar is I'll decide that I want to do this guitar solo and I want to get it done tonight. It's not enough to get a bunch of good ideas and get ready and then do it tomorrow. No, like I want to do it tonight.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll add other rules, like I want to do this track from beginning to end of the song with no punch-ins, no stopping.
Yeah.
And sometimes that has resulted in me working on a guitar solo for like 6 hours and my fingers are complaining and it's like, you know, I should just do this tomorrow. But it's like it makes it even more important to get the quest done if you don't give up, right?
Yeah.
So then I do get it done, but it's like almost painful sometimes. I don't do that all the time. Every once in a while.
No, I know that idea though, like of committing to like no punch-ins, just like committing to the beginning and the end of the track, and just like seriously, like that used to be like a huge go-to for me all the time.
Yeah,
that was like I just even just 10 tracks. No, I'm playing the whole thing live, and I'm gonna play it. Everything's just gonna be, rather than coming in and fixing things. Like it's nice doing that and fighting with it. Yeah, sticking around and making the parts all come together.
So your album here is really awesome. People should check it out. It's 11 songs. There's some really, really super fun stuff on here. Like Ravenous Punch is one of my favorites because of the, I love the lyrics. It's like, well, can I tell them what the lyrics are about, or is it better if they find out when they listen to it?
Oh, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Can read the lyrics.
It's about making zombies into milkshakes, right?
Yeah, it's like this guy realizing that it's this huge untapped protein resource, and like, why is everybody running from them when you can fucking be turning them into smoothies?
Nice.
Zombies. Turn the tides, man, and turn it into Zombie Punch, which would be like the name of the brand.
That's awesome. Ravenous Punch. Yeah, I like that. Like Cows They Wander. So on some songs here you do like kind of like solo performance, and others are more multi-layered, right?
Yeah, there's 3 songs that are solo, like just like voice and one instrument. Voice and piano, voice and guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 voice and piano, 1 voice and guitar.
So I think I know your past as a musician, but which did you get into first, vocals or piano or guitar? I'm going to guess it was vocals.
Oh, singing first, definitely.
Yeah. You sang along with a lot of Judas Priest, I'm guessing, right?
A little bit. I sing along with tons of stuff like Johnny Mathis, Sarah Vaughan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Olivia Newton-John. You know,
Nice.
Creedence
Did she
Clearwater
do
Revival,
Xanadu?
anything.
Did she do Xanadu?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I really like that song.
She's that's a great song. Yeah, should be fun. Actually, play Xanadu. Play her singing Xanadu in one speaker, and then the other speaker have Rush playing Xanadu because they both have a Xanadu
that's
song.
the best freaking idea ever.
I want to hear that.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, they might be exactly the same. Wouldn't it be funny if they lined up as a harmony to each other? Kind of like Pink Floyd The Wall and freaking the movie with the hurricane
Wizard of
and
Oz.
the Wizard of
Yeah.
Oz. Yeah. You're the one that I want. Physical.
Yeah, from Greece. Oh,
And
not
Xanadu.
physical, but the other one.
There seems to be a lot of songs that are kind of like are a little bit copy of physical. Seems like people want to copy that one a lot.
But I would do that. I would like kind of emulate their voices. Yeah, Ray Conniff singers. I just sing along to that. Kenny Rogers. Anything that we had in the house, I'd listen to.
You sing The Gambler a lot?
I have sang it. Yeah.
Nice.
But I got a really good version of it though.
Really?
Oh yeah, at a party at Ed's, and everyone was taking their turn going around playing guitar. Everyone had a turn. I said, we're doing The Gambler, but the only lyric is fuck. Or you gotta know when to know know when know when to you know when you're and you and everyone was singing it. You probably have to cut that out, but
Well, the thing is, this show is explicit content.
Oh, okay.
Although I don't think I've ever really sworn more than maybe once or twice. So you just that
Next-
label has now been earned. But if I do decide to censor them, the like pinch harmonics, like squeals
just do
on
that.
guitar, just put those. You ever watch Metalocalypse?
That was a cartoon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it a couple of times. That show was fun.
Oh yeah, it was freaking hilarious. I
Yeah.
love that show.
Yeah.
That's what they do with all their swears. They use pinch harmonics for censorship. Right on. So pigeons on the porch. Is there a story behind that?
Oh yeah. Pigeons on the porch that kept coming back, and then had babies.
Behind an old skateboard?
Actually, were that's where they built their nest. They actually, I don't know if you can really call what a pigeon builds as a nest. It's a pile of sticks with shit all over it. That is you ever seen a pigeon? They make the worst nests. They're
Fancy.
awful. Yeah.
Well, that's efficient and resourceful. Making the most out of what you got.
I guess so. Yeah.
Intrinsic impermanence. I like that. That's the name of one of your songs.
Yeah.
Intrinsic impermanence. Say that 10 times fast. Ready? Go.
Intrinsic impermanence, 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 intrinsic.
Holy smokes!
I missed the last one.
Wow, that was good, dude. Whoa, that was amazing. Yeah. No, I would not.
That picture, that's out up a lake up in near Westwold. And somebody just doing a target practice on an old cast iron
That must have sounded good.
lid. We didn't shoot it. It was just pinned to the tree with that
That would sound
chicken
great.
wire.
Yeah,
it would have been
imagine
nice
the
to
sound
shoot
that
it.
would make.
Yeah, it'd be a nice ping.
Hobie Dobie Dobo, that's a super fun song. That's like a sing-along song.
Yep.
Hobie Dobie Dobo, super catchy. So some of your stuff is kind of like kids music, but it's just like it's for anybody, right? I mean,
I think-
adults and old people and young people should all have the spirit of a young person, shouldn't they?
Definitely. Yeah, just like this the genre of kids music. I mean, whoever came up with that. Like it's
Simple
just,
fun.
Just music.
Like Hobie Dobie Dobo is it's like made up, you're making up your own words.
You know who inspired me to write that song?
What's that? Who?
Eminem.
Really?
Yeah.
Eminem, eh?
Yeah. That's it.
Right on.
Yeah, it was like me, like kind of doing like a spoof version of like a sing along Eminem song. That's pretty much, I think. Yeah, I seem to remember that being a thing. Yeah, it doesn't sound like him at all. You never think it's like, oh, it sounds like Eminem. It doesn't sound like.
Well,
him.
no, I wouldn't have guessed. But like Richie Blackmore said that the Smoke on the Water guitar riff was inspired by dun, 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 Beethoven, but he turned it
remember
backwards
that.
supposedly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like it to me, but that's what he said. Like,
Yeah.
that's where he got the idea.
Doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. Who would have guessed?
Yeah.
I would have not guessed. So, is this one inspired by a true story? It's called Took a Pee Behind a Tree.
Oh, it's lots of stories. I've done that many times.
Well, yeah, me too. I realized as soon as I said it that, like, I think most people have probably done this hundreds of times.
Yeah, but I kind of mock it in the lyrics, right? Saying, you know, animals been doing it like forever. Like, you know, it's like some special thing to hide, you know, go take a pee behind a tree. It's just like they just walk around and pee. Like,
Yeah.
and then I just mentioned about hiding in our bathrooms and our disconnection with nature and peeing behind trees and letting rivers run through our hair, which is just, you know, river water pumped. And I think that's where that came
Nice.
from. Yeah. But it's a playful song. It doesn't sound like that at all, right? It just sounds like...
I just remembered what your song is about here. This eeps, eeps, sploop, beep. Okay, if I'm correct, is this about being kidnapped by a UFO or something?
No, it's about meeting an alien in the park that's got a really ugly ass.
Oh.
That's pretty much it. And it happens to say eeps, eeps, oops, sleeps, and that's all it does, and then it takes off.
Wow.
It was a really minimalist meeting. Just some kid going in the park, runs into a... The thing says eeps, eeps, bloops, bleep to it a couple of times, then it takes off. Probably happens in the period of like less than half an hour, the whole scenario.
So it's based on a true story, kind of like the other ones.
Oh yeah, it definitely happened to me, man.
Yeah.
I've seen some ugly alien ass.
Fabricated Drama has a nice picture of a kitty cat with a rainbow going to it.
And that rainbow was real. That's an actual real picture. I didn't doctor it or anything.
Yeah, right.
No, honestly, 100%.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, I remember it was in the foyer at our school, and there was a prism on the window. You know, those rainbow, because so people don't bump into the and it.
Oh.
The cat was laying right there.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one. It makes you wonder if the rainbow is going to the cat
Yeah,
or
what-
coming from the cat.
Yeah.
Eeps, eeps, sploops, beep has a really cool, zany, heavy metal sound. The synthesizers remind me of old horror movies from the 80s or maybe old science fiction movies from the 80s.
Well, it was done on a keyboard from that time. That's for sure. It was an old...
Like a Casio or something?
I think it's an old Yamaha keyboard.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had a Yamaha DX100. It was amazing. So I want to
Okay.
play your song Intrinsic Impermanence on my show.
Okay.
I really like this song. Goes through some moods, doesn't it?
Yep.
So we were talking about the photo. This is the song that has the photo of the orange crock pot lid full of bullet holes mounted on the side of a tree trunk with a blue sky in the background on the left and total dark of night in the background on the right. Intrinsic Impermanence by
I have no
Gizbah.
idea what that song's about. I gotta see the lyrics.
Oh, here you go.
I can't remember what that song's about.
Well, I'll read them to you. Evolution, excess, destruction of the pristine. Wait at home for the food to arrive. Embrace the Anthropocene. Listen to this, listen to that. What's the footprint of these artists showing you where it's at?
Oh, I was pretty disdainful in that line.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I like it. Evolution, success, AI grows. Lost in the digital dream, biodiversity slows. Catch a butterfly, shoot a bear, play video games all day, no one seems to care. Yeah, I can relate to these lyrics a lot. Hasty purchase, feed the brain, you are what you buy. Lost in the brand, can't find my name. Do the laundry, shop for crap. Multitasking jungle, another idea to tap.
Evolution excess, destruction of the pristine. Wait at home for the food to arrive. Embrace the Anthropocene. Listen to this, listen to that. What's the footprint of these artists showing you where it's at? Russian success. AI grows, lost in the digital dream. Biodiversity slow. Catch a butterfly, shoot a bear, play Vince all day. No one needs to care. Hasty urges feed the brain. You are what you buy. Lost in the brand, can't find my name. Do the laundry, shop for crap, multitasking jungle, another idea to tap.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's freaking awesome, dude.
Bit of a rant on
Progress? Quote unquote
yeah,
progress?
pretty much. It's a good word to put it. Progress of technology.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely a big jab at technology in there. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. And the excess of creating all the crap we think we need when we don't need very much of it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy to figure out what the lines are about and the phrases are about, but what inspired me to write, I have no idea. But a song like that definitely would have been like me, going for a hike in the forest and thinking of an idea and then writing the words and then sitting down at the piano, knowing I had the words, putting them down, and then, hour to 4 hours later banging out the song and it's done.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So when you say that you came up with the lyrics first while you were hiking,
I think I'm just saying
probably. Yeah, that's
most
one of your
likely.
processes.
Yeah,
That's one of your favorite processes.
I can't writing lyrics after just doesn't work for me.
Really, eh?
No,
So
I could
it's-
do it, but it just seems to be something doesn't click with me.
Interesting. In Slug Rest, I write the music first and then the lyrics after. It's a challenge, but I don't know, just keep plugging away at it. Usually the patterns emerge.
I just find musically when I'm writing on the piano or guitar, I just find when there's words, it's just like it's like, what's the underground network of fungus and stuff that lives, the mycelium.
Oh.
I feel like I'm doing that. Like I'm connecting to the words through an actual oral and metaphysical kind of thing, and like it's musical glue would be a simple way of doing it, but I feel like I'm connected, and like so those two things stick together on a whole other level that's beyond just muscle memory. Like it's just this glob of stuff, so I can come back to it when I need to.
Can?
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
Well, thanks, Ian. Thanks for hanging out and chatting with our audience who's listening to us. Bye.
Thanks, audience. Bye.
I'm listening to Inagadda Stravinski by Frank Zappa, which, as you might guess, it's a combination of Inagadda by Iron Butterfly and plus Stravinsky Rite of Spring. Rite of Spring is played on lead guitar, and the Inagadda is played on the bass. And the rhythm guitar is doing some kind of weird reggae thing. It's off time though. I am unhappy to report that I cannot find my Mars Attacks DVD. Let me guess, I probably lent it to somebody and you never gave it back. just like my Eon Flux DVD never did reappear. I guess I'll have to go to the pawn shop and see if I can find it. Happy now. Thanks a lot. For nothing. I don't know how to say this. I might as well just say what I was thinking. I'm not really trying to be mean, it's just the truth, okay? Ableton, sometimes I wish you were Acid Pro.
Imposter syndrome, anybody?
Well, I guess I just want to mention a bunch of music I've been listening to lately, and it's a dilemma. Like, should I give details or just keep it quick? So I'm going to try to keep it quick and give details, I guess. I don't know. This band called Geese was recommended to me a few times by a buddy, and I listened to it, and it's actually quite good. Their new album called Getting Killed.
Geese, spelled Geese. Golf, Echo, Echo, Sierra, Echo.
And actually, their older album, 3D something or other, was even better in a way, like just a different style. Like the three albums, the band has really changed from one to the next. Oh, I thought I was going to keep this short. So Tame Impala has a new single called Dracula that I like. Grimes, yesterday I was listening to the rave edition, the remix of one of her albums called Misanthropocene, which I'm not that familiar with. But this remix album inspired me to start my own new track. So I spent most of the day yesterday. I spent most of the day writing a new track. It's like house, rave, house track. Some pretty dark tonalities like F Phrygian and D Locrian. Super fun. I love making techno music. That's a Lex Plexus track for sure. Unless I add guitar to it. We'll see how that goes. I heard a track by a band called Big Thief called Time Escaping. Real nice percussion and vocals. So at a gig back in September, a buddy, we were talking about different bands, recommending bands, and he mentioned Sleep Token. And when I looked them up, well, at first I listened to them, and they're a pretty incredible band. Really good vocals and composition. Heavy metal, pop, I don't know what to call it. It's like progressive, I guess you could say. I don't even know what that means. And then I was reading the Wikipedia about Sleep Token, and they've got this anonymity thing going on, which I found on another artist. I'll probably mention it later. But yeah, Sleep Token. And as it turns out, they're extremely famous, and I just never heard of them before. Just, I'm pretty oblivious to most things, I guess. But it's fun to discover this. Oh, a band called Dissimulator. An extreme metal band, like super high energy. Super high energy. Gets the adrenaline going. Dissimulator, they're called Dissimulator. Lower Form Resistance is the name of the album I was listening to. A band called Four Stroke Baron has an album called Classics, and it was mixed by Devin Townsend. Yeah, it sounds good. But the singer also is kind of like it's a very cool combination of the way the vocals and the music go together, because the vocals are kind of like Tears for Fears or Depeche Mode, something like that. Like a really unique pop, strong vocal with complex, heavy metal, dramatic composition to go with it. So that's that band is called Four Stroke Baron. Today I went through my Shazams, and one track I found, a band called Burial, which is a solo electronic artist from London. A track called Archangel. Very cool. It's an older track, like 2007, I think it was made. But it reminded me of Photech. And so it's got a very swingy, it really has a heavy duty swing to it, and it's electronic. And really enjoyed that. I ended up listening to the album. Oh yeah, but that artist is notoriously also anonymous. Like won't do interviews. Kind of like Sleep Token. I've got a track I've been enjoying called Messy by Lola Young. It's got a lot of swear words in it, but somehow I think they managed to come up with a version that can be played on radio. But I can't play it here, obviously. But that's a real atmospheric track. It has some very hypnotic sounds at the beginning that are like, it's a smooth, mellow track. And after that, I found this one that apparently I found this in that movie Kinds of Kindness, which is extremely freaking weird movie. That movie is so, the pace and the tone of the personalities in that movie, Kinds of Kindness, so dark, desolate, yeah, creepy. But there was a track from that movie called Brand New Bitch by Cobra, Cobrah. Again, it's an NSFW kind of track, but that's a really awesome track too. I played that on repeat a few times today. It's extremely sassy. The other day I heard that Hung Up track by Madonna, and I'm like, okay, well, is that an ABBA sample or is it not? And it is. It's obviously it's from that song Give Me a Man After Midnight by ABBA. So what a great track though. I really like the vocal mixing on the Madonna track. It's got a nice stereo sound to it. So I'm going to have to listen to that again pretty quick here. And I found out the only two samples that ABBA ever authorized were that song for Madonna and a song for the Fugees by the Fugees called Rumble in the Jungle. And I checked it, sure enough, it has the same bass line from the beginning. So then when I was listening to that ABBA track called The Name of the Game, which is, that's the track that was sampled by the Fugees, I listened to The Name of the Game by ABBA, and wow, I had forgot or never noticed that the intro and the first verse of that track is some of the smoothest stuff I've ever heard. It's so smooth. And I listened to it again to make sure it wasn't my imagination. It's extremely smooth. I like a smooth track, you know. One of the best things I heard lately was a track sent to me by a buddy, and it's called Saturday Night from Herbie Hancock. And what a transcendent melody. What a simple melody. It's very floaty. And it's got a 70s disco jazz fusion kind of thing going on. It sounds transcendent, like it's from a different dimension. Yeah, wow. And I played along with the whole album for fun, which I had never heard before. But the one track in particular, Carlos Santana plays on it. And the track has an overall party kind of vibe. Saturday Night is a good title for that one. It's fun, smart, and beautiful. Oh, by the way, my track that I started writing, inspired by the Grimes remix, well, the tempo was 127. That's a prime number, but it's also 128 minus 1. So in computer language, that's like 2 to the power of, 2 to the power of 5 or whatever it is, minus 1. 0 indexed.
Also happens to be a Mersenne prime.
2 to the power of 7 equals 128. 0 index minus 1 equals 127. So that's the tempo I used. Hell yeah. Hallelujah. Hell yeah. Hallelujah. Those two things are very similar. Is that a coincidence or what?
I propose the invention, implementation, and availability for subscription even to the following technology. Maybe I'm going to have to invent it. Here it is. It is censorship of censorship. So if I'm watching a comedy on YouTube and then they're bleeping out the swear words and totally making it impossible to understand what they're saying, I want to censor that censorship out of my life. I need a plugin that makes it so that I never have to tolerate censorship again. So yes, we need to censor censorship.
In keeping with tradition, I suppose I'm going to play one of my original studio compositions for you. And this one is called Silver Mean Ska Dub. And yes, there's a bit of a backstory. As you may have noticed, I was talking about the Silver Mean today. So this track here is kind of badly named. It has a leftover name. I was writing a song that had multiple tempos that were all relating to each other by the factor of the golden mean. But then that track never got finished, and I started another track instead. And that's the one that you're going to hear. And it only has one tempo, not two. So it doesn't even contain the silver mean or the golden mean in it. But it is named, it just simply inherited the name of that other track that probably no one's ever going to hear, because it never got finished. But this one's called Silver Mean Ska Dub. One other ironic or kind of ironic thing about this track is that when I finished the mix, after it was too late, I realized that somehow I left one of the snare drum tracks turned off, so the snare drum was too quiet. Which was like, oh no. But then when people hear this track, like I got positive feedback about it. Even a drummer liked it. So what does that mean? Does that mean that probably all my other tracks, the snare drum is probably too loud? But I don't know. I hope you enjoy this track. It's called Silver Mean Ska Dub. It's from my album called Under the Wire from a couple years ago or something. 4 years ago. Time flies. Enjoy. At the beginning of that track is the sound of an air-powered, silver-colored, UFO-shaped gyroscope that you blow into. And like I said, it's silver-colored, so I guess it actually does deserve to be called Silver Mean Ska Dub after all. Sorta, because it's got a silver gyroscope in it. Wow, I just got a victory royale in zero build dressed as Spider-Woman from the driver's seat of Marge Simpson's car against Evil Homer using a purple 5-gun. And before that, I was just reading Bruce Lee's book, The Tao of Jeet Kune Do. So maybe that helped my Fortnite performance. Here's a Bruce Lee quote. A wise man can learn more from a foolish question than a fool can learn from a wise answer. It occurred to me that bubble wrap and cap guns kind of belong together. So in celebration of that thought pattern, I think it's time for a sound party. Well, that was fun. Too bad the smell-o-vision's not hooked up right now. Those cap guns smell pretty good. I threw in some engine sounds and some fireworks. Kind of seemed appropriate. Thanks for listening. Till next time.
End of podcast episode. Terminating transmission. Signing off. Goodbye.